Russo's Playbook. All right, what's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Deep to Right. This is episode 6 here on Russo's Playbook, hosted by John and myself. How you doing today, John?
What's up, Mr. Russo? What's going on, my man?
Oh, I'm chilling, ready to talk some baseball. I know we got a lot to talk about. But before we start, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. We got Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You could also read up on our blogs and catch up on episodes at russosplaybook.com. But let's jump right into it today. So we got the biggest free agent additions, whether they're good or bad. I know we got a few, for each of us to talk about, but I'll start it off with Trevor Bauer. I know that was both a good one for both of us. Yeah, he's 5-2, 1.98 ERA. He's had 88 strikeouts, 0.77 WHIP. I mean, the guy's on fire right now.
On fires. Look, you just ran through his numbers. He's 8th in ERA, 3rd in Ks, 4th in WHIP. The biggest name coming in the free agency, the Dodgers got the guy. He's lights out this year. He's the only pitcher I know of. I don't know if you can think of another that can throw 126, 130 pitches in a game, and it's incredible what his stamina is out of this world. The dude just throws and throws. It's like his arms just doesn't get tired.
Yeah.
It's
And even if
5 days.
Yeah, and even if there was somebody else that can do that, we wouldn't know it nowadays with pitching.
Exactly. Nobody. First of all, look, that's an awesome point. Nobody lets their pitchers do that anymore, so we wouldn't know. You're right.
Mhm.
The Yankees pull dudes at 85 pitches. It doesn't matter how well they're throwing. You get to that 85, 90 mark, there's your analytics, Nick. Analytics tell you, get them out of there.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing. But yeah, that was a huge addition for the Dodgers. I know it's a big boost with Kershaw. Pitcher there. That's a great 1-2 punch.
Yeah, it helps the rotation out tremendously. When you get a guy like that can take a huge bulk load, it's good for the bullpen, and then he comes back in 5 days with no rest. Yeah. That's huge, regardless that he's just lights out right now.
Yeah. And then another pitcher I want to touch on is Taijuan Walker signed with the Mets.
Yes, sir.
He's doing pretty good, not too bad. He's 3-1, 2.05 ERA. He's had 41 strikeouts, 0.98 WHIP. I mean, the guys, when you got a whip like that, you know you're doing something right, you know?
There's so many pitchers under that 1.0 mark for whip right now. It's wild. We talked about it with the spin rates and how pitchers are having more success on Friday. There are 20 pitchers under 1.0 whip right now, which is incredible. That is an absurd amount of pitchers having a dominant season as of right now. A lot of them are going to regress. I'm assuming Taijuan Walker is going to be one of them. He's hovering around that 1.0 mark right there. But that's an incredible boost for the Mets. They lost out in the Trevor Bauer sweepstakes. A lot of people thought he was going there, but Taijuan Walker's been a nice piece for them.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And we'll stay on pitchers if you couldn't tell. Fans of them. We got Corey Kluber, actually. Listen, I got on him a little bit about being consistent a few weeks ago on our episode, but he's shown up. I don't know if he was listening, took it to heart, but he's shown up now. And he's
Corey, we are sorry. We didn't mean it, man. We didn't mean it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a list of them where we said something, now they're on fire. So who knows?
Arena's listening. I don't know what's going on, but I think we're the talk of the clubhouse right now.
For sure. But for Corey Kluber, I mean, he's 4-2, 2.86 ERA, 50 strikeouts, and he threw the no-hitter.
First Yankees no-hitter this century since '99. Think about how many great pitchers have been in and out of that organization in that time. Corey Kluber is that man.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. I mean, just what I asked for, the consistency. He's shown up week in, last 4 starts now.
Against good teams, we can't say it's just against the Orioles and the Rangers now. He looks like Corey Kluber when he won the Cy Young Award. He looks incredible right now.
And it was great to see it. I don't remember if we touched on it, but the Indians fans are happy to see it too.
Yeah, that was awesome of Indians fans congratulating him. They were ecstatic for him, which was awesome to see. Yeah, I completely agree. Good for Cleveland fans.
Yeah, for sure. And then did you have a couple more you want to touch on?
Yeah, James Paxton, another former Yankee. He had a rough 2020 with the Yankees. He only had 5 starts in the shortened season. He's been riddled with injuries the past few years. He went back to the Mariners, and the Mariners understood that risk. They knew that he was a familiar face in Seattle. They were bringing him back. He lasted a week in the 2021 season. April 13th, he was shut down, out for the season. James Paxton will, uh, man, I don't even know if we'll see him next year. This might be the end of the road for James Paxton.
Yeah, he took a big hit with that injury.
Definitely, definitely. Oh,
And then we'll switch it up off of pitchers for right now for me. I got George Springer. Opposite of what's been good, it's been bad. I mean, he's been hit with injuries all over the place, started off the season with it. Now he was put on the IL on Wednesday. I mean, it just hasn't been good for him.
no, this is like his third, fourth time getting put back on the 10-day IL. He signed a 6-year, $150 million contract. He's only got 15 at bats so far.
Yikes.
That's a big buck for somebody who's getting. I mean, they're small injuries, they're tweaks, they're re-aggravations.
Yep.
He's just, I don't know if he's not conditioning or taking the rehab and training seriously. I don't know. I obviously don't talk to George Springer, so I don't know what's going on. But there has to be an answer for the Blue Jays there. That's a lot of money for not to play for 2 months for injuries.
Exactly. Exactly.
The Blue Jays still luck out though with not having George Springer there. They went a little crazy this free agency. They spent a lot of money. They brought Marcus Semien from the A's.
Yep.
They weren't quite sure what they were going to do with him position wise. A lot of people thought he was going to be second, which is where he's been most of the season. But he's having a really nice year. He signed a 1-year, $18 million contract. He's got he's batting 282 with 11 home runs, 9 doubles, and got an 881 OPS.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Simeon's picking up that slack, which I'm sure the Blue Jays are, very relieved to see that at least one of their big names is producing.
Yeah. Yeah. They spent plenty of money on him. So, and when
Yeah.
George Springer does come back, if he does fully healthy, I mean, that's a huge addition as well. He just has to get healthy.
Can you imagine that Blue Jays team right now with a healthy George Springer?
Yeah.
Nuts, nuts.
It could be crazy.
Oh man, I'm excited for it.
Yeah. As a Yankees fan, I don't know.
Yankees
I
fan,
do.
I'm excited for it. Come on now, I want to see
Yeah.
the man.
Yeah, and then I had some re-signings as well I wanted to touch on with Marcell Ozuna going back to the Braves. I think that was a good re-signing. DJ LeMahieu and Marcus Stroman, both from the Yankees and Mets.
Yeah, LeMahieu was the news of the summer. Everybody was kind of waiting on to see if he would resign, what the Yankees would give him. They obviously ended up giving him what he wanted. They came to a deal, and DJ's back in the Bronx.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like the most consistent contact hitter. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna hit the home runs. He's gonna get on base. He's gonna hit it. He's gonna get singles, doubles. So I mean, you need, for me, you need more people like that.
I
Instead of
agree.
home run stuff.
He's still a little slow on the season right now, but I'm not worried about it. He's won the
Yeah,
batting title twice.
exactly. We know what he is.
We know what we got. He's there, like you said, he's there to get on base, and I'm sure he's going to do that at some point.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
I love while we keep talking about these Mets players. I love the Mets Twitter. Stroman, Kevin Pillar, Steve Cohen, Syndergaard. Those players connect with each other.
Hmm.
That seems like a fun clubhouse to be a part of. Taiwan Walker as well is all over. That just seems like a fun team to play for right now. It seems like they're clicking.
Yeah, Steve Cohen. I mean, he gets a little into it with the fans because he is one himself. You know, that's why he bought the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I love it. I don't know another owner where
Yeah,
he owns that team
yeah,
that engages with fans like that on any social media throughout any sport.
yeah, yeah. I
You
was
imagine Jerry Jones hitting up on people on Twitter?
dude, hysterical. I was following him one of the nights, and somebody tweeted like, "Oh, this, that, and the injuries. Like, we're not gonna be like we're gonna be taking hits and stuff. Like, it's a bad." And Steve Cohen goes, "You realize we're winning right now, right? Like what are you complaining about here? It's just
Yeah, man, dude, he's funny.
yeah,
He popped off during that little Robin Hood fiasco. He
that
came back
was
with like, still the Mets.
exactly. Did you have any more players you want to touch on?
Yeah,
That was
there's a couple. Main
yeah.
was Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yep.
A lot of people wondered with the 2020 season how some players who excelled when they haven't in previous years,
Hmm.
what their contracts would look like coming into the 2021 season. JBJ seems to be the one that made out the most from that. He's never really been a good hitter. He's phenomenal in the field. He's
Yeah.
incredible outfielder. He's never been a top 5 batting order guy. I would personally say he's always batting in the top of the order. I don't think he's a great hitter personally, and he's showing it this year. He went and signed with the Brewers after leaving the Red Sox. He's only got a 163 batting average, 4 home runs, 8 RBIs. We've talked about the Brewers a lot the past couple weeks. Without Yelly, you need these other guys to come in and pick it up. And we
Exactly.
talked about Jackie Bradley Jr. being cold on Friday's episode of Who's Hot, Who's Not. Jackie Bradley Jr. is not. And, if they want to be competitive in that NL Central, we
Yeah.
keep beating that dead horse. They got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a tough NL Central. So you got to get it figured out.
Yeah, they do. But that's it for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm good.
We could roll right on talking about the divisions. We'll give a little breakdown what's going on right now. I know there's some close ones. So we'll start off with the AL East. So we have the Red Sox in first, Rays in second, 1 game behind, and then the Yankees in third with 1.5 games behind. It's a close race. This is going to be very interesting till the end, I feel like. And obviously the Blue Jays are going to sneak in there, but they were a little farther back. But I mean, like I said, that's a tough, close division.
It is. But I'm looking at it. Blue Jays are only 3 games back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yankees and Rays have the 2 AL wildcard spots right now. That's Rays are not going anywhere. They're
Yeah.
9-1 over their past 10 with the Dodgers and the Padres. That division, I cannot tell you right at this second who's going to win that division.
Yeah.
I mean, me being a Yankees fan, I cannot. Fuck, the Orioles might come in and make a push. I do, dude. It's nuts. That division is playing incredible ball right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unbelievable. I mean, if I had to choose, and I hate to say it, it'll have to be the Red Sox. If I had to choose somebody who's going to win that division right now, it's the Red Sox for me. They got it locked in first. Yep.
Can't do it. Can't say it. I
Can't
know I have
say
to
it.
take the Rays or the Blue Jays or something.
I
It's
hear
not
it. It's
Yanks.
tough. It's tough. But let's move to the AL Central. There's another close one with the White Sox in first and then Indians in second with 1.5 games behind. That one's not as close with so many teams, but still right there with 2 teams battling for it, And the White Sox, like we talked about, Tony La Russa problems. Are they going to fall behind a little bit now? Is there any problems in the clubhouse?
They're on a 2-game losing streak. I don't know. Like we talked about a couple days ago, players and TLR came out and said there's no rift. It's a healthy clubhouse. Everything's fine. We'll see if that's the truth, and we'll see how they decide to play that out. They've got one of the highest run differentials in the league right now, plus 65. They're firing on all cylinders. They look, and this is still without Eloy Jimenez and Luis Robert. So when they come back, I mean that's a scary team.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something to watch for. What's up?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say Indians are only 1.5 games out of the wild card, and 1.5 games back out of their own division. So for a team that a lot of people didn't think to be competitive, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're fighting. You
Yeah.
love to see it.
Love it.
And then the AL West, another close one with 2 teams. You got the Oakland A's in first, and then Houston Astros 1.5 games behind. I'd love to see the Astros just not make the playoffs. I want them to just fall off.
I would. I'd love it. I'd love to. Their fans and the players seem to be cockier than ever.
Yep.
I think the Astros are going to take that division, though.
Oof.
Yeah, I think the Astros are going to win that division. I think the A's are going to fall off. I mean, their run differential still keeps dropping. The A's is at -10 now. They're still 6-4 over their past 10. Still winning games.
Yeah.
Winning games. Losing bad, winning close. I think it's a recipe for disaster later in the season. They got to figure out a couple things. Going back to free agents, they lost Liam Hendricks, who went over to the White Sox. Lou Trevino is playing extremely well as their new closer. We got a couple things still to figure out, but I like the A's as a wild card team. I do.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go complete opposite. I like
Yeah.
them to win the division.
Ooh, yeah.
Might have a little sleeper pick later on in the show we could talk about for the A's. Maybe going
Oh,
north
really?
the division. Yeah.
Don't tell me you're gonna say what I think you're gonna say.
Oh, we'll find out. We will find out. Let's move right along into the NL East. So we got the Mets in first, Braves in second, Phillies in third, 2.5 games behind each. I mean, that's a close one. I know I was talking about how they have to get to a fast start. Well, they're picking it up. They're winning even with all the injuries. They keep getting it done.
They do. They do. Mets look good. And like I think it has a lot to do with what we were just talking about with how much fun they're having, how
Yeah.
much click. Um, I'm sick of people with the Lindor and McNeil thing saying, "Oh, we'll just tell us to." No, 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 no. Just blow that shit off like nothing ever happened. Professional, get it out of the way. Nothing happened. Keep it moving.
Exactly, exactly.
While we're in the NL East, what is going on with the Nationals?
They fell
What?
off. I have no clue.
My my God, man. Oh, they look like one of baseball's worst.
Yeah.
One of baseball's worst. They're going to be sellers at the deadline.
And
Everybody's gone.
they have such great pitching too. Or at least they should be pitching good. Like,
Mad Max looks like Mad Max again.
yeah.
I their free agency signings and non-signings over the past couple years is absolutely starting to show.
Yeah.
Josh Bell, Kyle Schwarber were not the answers for this team. But they stink. My God, man.
Let's move right along to NL Central, which are Cardinals playing great. They're in first place.
Sure.
Yeah, and we got the Cubs right there behind them in second with 3 games back, and then the Brewers 4 games back in third. And we touched on the Brewers; they got to step it up, especially with Yelich not back yet. So they got a lot to make up for.
Got to step it up. Cardinals Cubs just played their first series. Cardinals got spanked in the first game, I think 12-3.
Yeah,
They won yesterday 2-1, I believe. Game 3 is today. It's been a fun series so far. I think the Cubs Cardinals, as pretty much every year it feels like, are going to be battling this one out till the last game. Until 162 is played, we're not going to know who wins this division either.
for sure. If I had to pick, I'd go Cardinals, though. I feel confident with that.
They're hot. And
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this because I'm a Cardinals fan. They're hot. They look good. They're going to the World Series.
Let's touch on the last division. Actually, the most exciting one for me, the NL West. You got Padres in first. You got the Dodgers right behind them in second with the 1 game back, and then you got the Giants in third with just 1 game back.
Yeah, we just talked 3 days ago. The Giants were in first place in this division. Giants are now third place in this division, a game back, tied with the Dodgers behind the Padres.
Yeah,
So much can happen so quickly.
MLB changes quickly.
So, oh man, 2 games will kill. Dodgers and the Padres are 9-1 in their last 10, and the Giants have lost 2 straight.
Yeah.
You can't be losing 2 straight when you got the Dodgers and the Padres not even losing 2-10.
Yeah. And if you had to answer, who are you picking for the division?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. As much as I love the Giants playing right now, I think they're more similar to the Athletics. I think they're going to regress a little bit. If I had to pick right now, it's Padres.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. While we're in this red hot division, another interesting thing about the NL West, every team in this division has over 200 runs scored. No other division has more than 3 teams with over.
Oh my goodness.
Even the Rockies and the Diamondbacks have 214 and 2. Actually, the Rockies have the second most runs for in that division behind the Dodgers.
Wow.
That whole division is just raking in runs.
Yeah. That's gonna be such an exciting division.
So
Really.
the NL West, the NL Central, the NL East we're in for a treat. And the AL East.
Yeah, definitely something to stay in touch with.
3/4 of the divisions that we can't tell you who's going to be there in the playoffs.
Yep, exactly. It's a guessing game right now.
It is. I'm so excited. I know we keep saying it. I'm so excited for this year, man. I
Yeah.
keep getting more excited. The play keeps getting better. The anticipation. Oh my, excuse me. Anticipation. That's the word. The anticipation keeps building. I
Yeah.
can't wait for October, bro.
Yeah. So October comes the World Series where we can start talking about our early predictions for it. So I'm gonna go a little hot take here and there. I know you were middle of the show bashing the A's, but I think they could step it up, and I think it could be Padres versus A's in the World Series.
Really? You
And
think the
here,
A's do it?
this is my thing with the A's. As much as all the stats say, oh, it doesn't make sense, they're still finding a way to win. And when teams like that get hot and make it into the playoffs, and if they stay hot and go into the playoffs, winning the division, I think they could build off that small ball that you know what I'm saying, not
Yeah.
running a lot of scores and everything. I think they could get that momentum going.
I love it, man. I I disagree. I don't think the A's can do it, but man, I love it. I love
Yeah,
that pick.
for sure,
I-
for sure.
We share at least one. We got the same NL winner. I think the Dodgers, the
The
Dodge.
Padres.
Oh, the Dodgers.
You
Dodgers.
can't decide. You can't decide. It's a toss up.
The Dodgers. That's my World Series prediction. The Dodgers. Holy. No, the Dodgers and the Padres are going to meet in the playoffs. I think whether it's the wild card or the divisional round, I think the Padres edge them out. I think the Padres and the Chicago White Sox end up in the World Series.
Okay.
I think the Padres actually edge out the Cardinals in the NL Championship. I
Ooh,
think the Cards and the Padres both make it. Padres are they look too good.
yeah.
All right, Fernando Tatis. As long as you got El Nino, you're cool in my book.
Yeah. Dude,
Padres White Sox World Series.
and you're staying with your original pick from when you started the
Yes,
season, right?
sir. My preseason. It was the first week of the season. I came out on Russo's playbook. I gave my World Series prediction of the Chicago White Sox, and I still like it. I still
Yeah,
think they can do it. Give me Eloy and Robert back in the summer. We're rocking.
for sure, for sure. As long as they figure that stuff out with Tony La Russa, which they say they everything's fine, like we talked about. So we can only hope, right?
That's right. We can only hope. Or we
Exactly.
can hope he gets canned halfway through the season and we get a new manager.
There's a lot of things you can hope for.
I'm coming for LaRusse's neck. I've had it.
It's been had enough.
We're done.
Yeah, but we'll wrap up this episode here. Deep to Right, episode 6. You can catch it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, man. Get interactive. You can catch us on Twitter at Russo's Playbook. And we'll catch you guys again next Sunday.
Hey, thanks for tagging along, guys. Cheers.